Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Carolyn. I am a twin mom to twin baby girls, Summer and Winter. And today I want to share with you a video about how to apply for your baby's first passport. If you're like me, I love to travel. So my husband and I, before we had kids, have traveled to 18 countries together, and by myself, I've been to 20 countries. We've learned quite a bit about traveling, and a major part of that is having a passport that is good during the time that you're traveling. So as far as that goes, we applied for our baby's passports immediately because we have family in other countries, and we just knew that we were gonna wanna go visit them as early as possible to introduce the girls. So step one, have your baby. I know you might want to get ahead of the game and apply for the passport before the baby is here, but you can't. You have to wait until they are born. They have an official date that they were born on so that that can be their birth date, and then that is what will be on their birth certificate. Step two, get the birth certificate. You do have to apply for it immediately after the baby is born, and some people wait. I don't know why anybody would do that. Maybe you're debating about a name. I know some people have even left the hospital without naming their baby. And all I'm saying is if you want to get a passport, you have to apply for their birth certificate immediately. So get the birth certificate. And in order to actually get a copy, you may even need to go to your local government office to buy a notarized version of the actual birth certificate. We went and bought a few just so that we had them and put them in safe places. Regardless, you will get this back usually once you use it to apply, but you do have to have a physical copy of it to apply. Step three, make an appointment at your local office where you can apply for passports. This is either at your local government office or you can even apply at some post offices. It really depends. For us, we were going through the COVID quarantine during the time of when we wanted to apply. And so all of the government offices were closed during the time. Once something started to open back up, the government offices were not open yet, but the post offices were. And we were able to get an appointment at our local post office where you then go for your appointment to submit the paperwork. Step four, fill out the paperwork, and you can actually fill it out before you arrive to your appointment, but you do have to be in person, both parents and the baby, to physically show who you are and show your identities and both be there to submit the paperwork. And then the person just needs to see all of your faces and then they sign off on it. Step five, take pictures. So while you're filling out the paperwork and making that appointment, you want to make sure that you're taking pictures of your baby or of your kiddo. If it's, no matter what age they are, if it's their first passport, they still need to take fresh new pictures. And if they're under the age of 16, they're going to have a passport that's good for 5 years. Regardless of that, the baby picture will be the main picture for the entirety of that passport unless you apply for a new passport for some reason. And therefore, you want to take good pictures, and you sometimes can get your picture taken at the post office or at the government place that you're having the appointment. But keep in mind that if it is a baby or a toddler or just any kid that is moving around, it's not going to be easy for somebody who doesn't know that child to take a picture of them and hold them still. So what we did for my babies, and we applied for their passports when they were only about 3 or 4 months old, we were actually able to take both of their pictures using the camera on my phone. And I just simply put white pieces of paper behind them and laid them onto the paper so that it was completely around the area of their head and even from this area up as well. So I just laid them on a bunch of pieces of white paper because it does need to be a white background. And you can follow the different guidelines of how the government actually outlines. I'll link it below, but they actually outline exactly how you need to take the picture with different measurements and things like that. So once you do that, you can just go and print it off at any place that prints photos. I chose to do it at Walgreens, and our local Walgreens actually does do the passport photos. Even though I wasn't actually taking the photo at their store, they know what the measurements are to be able to edit the photo as needed so that it fits in the right measurements. so that the passport agency will accept the picture. This is very important because if it's not in those guidelines, they can turn it down and your entire application will have to restart. So let's recap. Have the baby, get the birth certificate, apply for an appointment because you definitely want to make sure that you have an appointment. It can take a couple of weeks sometimes to get the appointment. Other times you can schedule it the next day. It just depends. And the next step is to make sure that you fill out the paperwork and also take your pictures. Bring the paperwork and the picture to the post office or to the government center where you're having your appointment. And they will then, like I said, they'll check, make sure that the identity matches, make sure that the picture matches the child, and that you are who you say that you are, you're the parents, things like that. It should say that as well on the birth certificate. And then you're good to go. Next thing you need to do is just simply wait, and the passports will come in the mail. For us, the passports and our documents that we submitted were all returned to us. The application itself will not be returned, but the birth certificate was returned to us, which was very nice, along with obviously the passports. And along with the passports and some information on how the passports work and how they can be used, etc. If you're not used to traveling, it's just some general information that you do receive. So that's it. It's a really simple process. It's really just all about being patient and making sure that you wait enough time before you plan your travel so that you have enough time to receive your passport. The paperwork that we had to fill out was called the DS-11, and sometimes these forms are updated, so make sure that you do get the most updated form when filling this out, and depending on if it's a very first passport or if it's a renewal of a passport, there are different forms that would be filled out in different circumstances like those as well. So I'm going to just link below to the United States website that you can actually use to see what the most up-to-date information is on what forms need to be submitted and what fees need to be submitted with those forms as well, because there is a cost associated with it, and that's just the process at this current moment. So if you have any other questions, please feel free to leave your comments below. I'll be happy to answer based on our experience. For us, it did take a few months to receive them, which is longer than normal. That's also because everything was kind of shut down because of the circumstances going on at the time. Generally, my understanding is that they turn it around in around 6 to 8 weeks. So that is generally the minimum amount of time that you need to leave before scheduling any flights or trips that you want to have planned. So thank you so much for listening to my video, and I hope that you do have a super fun time wherever you're traveling to. And I just wanted to share this video because it's the holiday season and it may have gotten you thinking about what your next trip will be. So let me know in the comments if you're going somewhere fun. I can live vicariously through you. Thanks, you guys. And as always, please give me a thumbs up if this was helpful. And don't forget to subscribe below to my channel if you enjoy motherhood lifestyle, cleaning and organizing, or just family adventure, because that's what my channel is about. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.